What's going on, guys? This is Ben from NolanTCG, and welcome back to month 3 of Sealed Only. So the past month's been very good for the deck. We've been doing quite well at locals, quite surprisingly, and we haven't really had any issues at all. I'm sure you have seen it pop up a few times in the tournament footage. We have made the finals quite a lot. We have struggled to finish it off and get the win, but I don't think we've gone like negative on our win-loss record the entire time we've been there. But as always, it is time to feed the deck more, so we do have this month a box of Pendulum Evolution to feed to the deck. Hopefully we can pull some Zephyr stuff, or just general Pen Magicians. We can hopefully fill out the extra deck a bit more and have the deck looking a bit more complete. But yeah, as always, if you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're always happy to have new people. Keep an eye out for next month, because we will be opening up, I think it's 6 boxes of the new duel set, so keep an eye on that one. But as always, let's get into a bit of a box opening, and then we'll build a bit of a profile at the end. Okay, so it's time to rip into this box. Let's get going. I know this has been sitting, in the bedroom for like 2 months, waiting to be opened. We did pick this up from Pop Culture. I think I said in the last video, but we picked it up from there for, I think it was 60 bucks over New Year's. I did check this morning and they were still available. So if you are looking to pick up Pendulum Evolution boxes in Australia, that is probably the cheapest you're going to find it as a sealed box. But let's get into these. They're a bit bendy. God knows how long they've been sitting there for. But let's get going. So starting us off, we've got Zephrani, Pendulum Storm, Oddeyes Pendulum Dragon, Purple Poison, and Time Pendulum Graph. Oh yeah, there's 2 Ultras in every pack for these. And the Ultras just kind of built you the Pen Magician core, so hopefully we can just kind of pull playsets of everything in the set, because I remember it not being amazingly hard to pull everything. We've got now the White Wing and the Double Iris, 1 Band Boy, throw them to the side. I know we did get the foil Penge calls, which look quite nice. I've never actually had foil Penge calls, because I never opened this set when it came out. I just kind of bought the singles. But Doomstar, we got a Time Star and another Band Boy. There are going to be a couple of band cards in here, because we got Astrograph and everything. They're all dead, but an Enlightenment Paladin, Dharma Eyes, there's the Astrograph, and another Purple Poison. I guess overall, yeah, we are just trying to build just the deck to be more complete. So, except for Thuban, we're probably going to play that. Oath Dragon, Chronograph. I'd really like a playset of Chronograph, as we see our playset of Double Iris. Because we do still have the Time Star from the earlier Is it Time Star that it summons? Yeah, it's Time Gazer. Time Gazer. We have the Time Gazer from earlier. I'm sure we'll pull another Time Gazer in here. We can also rarity bump our Abductors. But an Exindric, Star Pendulum, and a Harmonizing. Great card to have. Next up, we've got Oracle of Zephyr, Lecter, Shift, another Band Boy, and a White Wing. These packs are a bit bent. They've been definitely sitting there for a very long time. We've got Divine Strike, Crimsonite, Fullcast Cannon, Time Penge, and Purple Poison. Okay, Doomstar, Tuning, Reborn, White Wing, and Time Star. Rare Metal Foes, Scout, Wisdom Eye, Pendulum Graph, and another Astrograph. I think that's our playset of both of the band cards. Okay, let's keep it going. We've got a Time Gazer, foil 1, nice. Time Breaker, Wisdom Eye, we're almost getting a playset of that. We see Black Fang and Star Pendulum Graph. And last pack for the first side is Adamante, Exindric, Oddeyes Absolute Dragon, nice. We need the fusion to go with that. We've got Pendulum Graph and Purple Poison. Because I never really paid attention to this when it came out back in the day, because you just kind of bought the singles. Were there any short prints in this? I've got no clue. If there were, comment them down below. I'm sure we'll notice at the end if we don't pull anything we were looking for. I remember the Ultras just were incredibly easy to get, so I just kind of picked them up separate. Maybe stuff like Monolith might be shorted. There's a silly Hamster, Echo Isolation, Pendulum Graph, and Double Iris. We do need a Zephyr Divine Strike. We may have pulled the Zephyr Divine Strike. But Bismugear, Vortex Dragon, Gazer. We got the Vortex Dragon now, so that's sweet. I know we got the Zephyr Metaltron from last month's opening, so that'll go in nicely. As we see a Meteor Burst, Unwavering Bolt, Chronograph and Time Star. I think that makes the playset of Chronograph, which is good. We'll be definitely putting that engine in. Zephranu, Orichalc, another band card in Joker. You got Black Fang and a Time Star. I miss Joker. I miss all the Perform Power stuff that's banned. I really like those cards. You got Oath Dragon, Absolute, Monolith, Pendulum Graph, and Harmonizing. So we're trying to get through this quickly, just because there's not really, because there's no like secrets, there's no hype overall in the actual opening of this. So another Astrograph, Harmonizing. We'll definitely be rarity bumping our Abductors, and really just rarity bumping any Pendulum stuff that we have. Double Iris. Haven't we seen a Zephyr Divine Strike? Well, we may have only seen one Zephyr Thuban, but Noble Dragon, White Wing, Chronograph. Zephyr Exciton, Master Pendulum, Double Iris, and Chronograph. Our band pile is actually getting pretty big. But Noble Dragon, Echo Isolation, Penge Call, Time Pendulum Graph, Poison, and last pack. Clearfort Scout, Undermante, Lecter, Black Fang, and Time Pendulum Graph. Okay, we'll quickly shuffle through these, see if there was anything that we didn't quite hit. The Zephyr Thuban, yeah, I swear we pulled a Zephyr Thuban at the start. Did we pull more than one? Let's see. Timebreaker, Oath Dragon. No, I think we only pulled the one. Okay. Bit of a bummer, but oh well. Can't complain. Must have been a short along with like Scout or something, or Monolith. But yeah, we'll get on into a little bit of a deck profile for these and we'll be back. And we are back. So there has been some pretty big changes to the deck. We've changed it up quite a bit. Mixed in a lot of Pendulum stuff and Zephyr stuff to kind of mix the deck up a little bit. The extra deck is now 15 cards, which is always a good thing, as well as we've had some changes with stuff moving to the side deck. But let's get into a bit of a profile for our sealed only. But starting us off, we still have the Mythical Beast engine like always, of the 1 Cerberus, the 2 Jackal King, and 1 Garuda. We did cut the Basilisk just for space. Then we've got 3 copies of Endymion, 1 Reflection, 1 Magister, 1 Servant. We're now down to 2 Abductor, mainly because we only pulled 2 foils and we'll like, let's just go with the 2 foils. That's 1 card we need to cut. 3 copies of Harmonizing, 2 copies of Wisdom Eye, then our Wisdom Eye targets in Oath Dragon, Purple Poison, and Black Fang. Next up, 3 copies of Chronograph, 1 copy of Time Gazer for the Chronograph Search. Then we're finishing off the monsters with 2 copies of Zephranu. For the spells, 3 copies of Mastery, 3 copies of Pot of Desires, 3 copies of Penge Call, 1 Oracle of Zephyr, 2 Secret Village, 1 Terraforming, and then the 1 Zephyr Divine Strike. So we have made some pretty big changes. Biggest one, we cut the Blue Boy package after it just did its best to ruin us on Thursday that went past. The video is on the channel. It stands out like a sore thumb. I think it's probably going to have a thumbnail or something to do with Blue Boy ruining our night. But we'll show off the rest of this as we get into the extra deck. Okay, so the extra deck has grown quite a lot, but we are still going with 3 copies of Daybreaker, just because it's our main point down. Then 2 copies of Underclock, just for a quick link out that we're going to use for the Zephranu. Then 1 Zephyr Metaltron, just to finish off our links. For Synchros, we've got a Meteor Burst and an Enlightenment Paladin. We are going with 2 Vortex Dragon, just because we're going to be playing 2 copies of Absolute. We are a bit low on the 7s now, but we're just going to kind of go with it. We got space in here, as you can see from the 1 Infinitrack Mountain Smasher, 1 Draco Sack, and 1 Time Star Magician. So there have been reasonably big changes to the side deck as well. We are still at 1 Inspect Border, just because we have the Inspect Border, but now going back to the side deck from the main is 3 copies of Droll. It just kind of doesn't massively come up half the time at this locals, but it can come up at times. There is Spiral players floating around than others, but also new to the extra deck, or the side deck, 2 copies of Archfiend Eccentric. It's just a pop. Still running 3 copies of Dark Hole. Still surprised this is back at 3 and no one plays it. Like, I don't really play it, so I can't really say anything, but here it is. We have it, so it's in. 2 copies of Left Hand and 2 copies of Right Hand, just because they're just this 1 negate that we can side in if we need to. And then finishing us off, a new edition again, 2 copies of Time Pendulum Graph. Okay, and that'll finish us up for Sealed Only for this month. Remember, tune in next month where we will be opening up 6 boxes of, I think it's called Duel Overload. I keep forgetting, I just keep saying the Duel set from March. But we have got 6 boxes of that coming in. As always, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. We'll be doing these every month and keep this deck rolling. And as always, this has been Ben from NolanTCG, and have a good afternoon, everybody.